Hey crafty cuties, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be working on my travel / summer junk journal. In the last episode we went through and chose the pages and kind of got a plan for what I wanted this junk journal to end out to be. Today we are going to work on matting the photos and getting them ready for the pages. This is just what I was feeling like doing today. I'm going to be using the items that have come in this travel junk journal kit from Amore Fabrics. I'll have all of that information down below. So I went through my photos and I did trim them down and kind of went through and made sure I knew which photos I definitely wanted to be in here. So I'm actually working on just the photos for the first signature in this book. I'm going to divide this junk journal into two signatures. The first one's going to be all of our vacation photos, and then the second signature will be anything other than vacation that happened during the summer. So I mostly want to just keep these really simple and matte them all. I probably will turn a few into pockets and little flips, and you'll see what I mean as we go along. But I have this huge map here that came in this kit, and I think this is going to be perfect for matting. So I have a few different size photos, and I'm just going to start with these right here. They're about 4x4. So I'm going to start out by, I'm just going to use my wet glue. I'm just going to start putting them on the map pages, and I kind of want like the actual map to show. I'm going to start just gluing these down, and then I'll trim around. You can see now that I have all of these 4x4 photos matted. I did go ahead and use some scrapbook paper that I kind of had in this little stash here. And I'm just going to trim around the edge like so. You're not really going to see a ton of the map paper, just enough to give some interest, and I don't know, I think makes it look kind of nice. So I'm going to continue on here. As I'm going through the pictures, I'm kind of keeping in mind what I might want to do with the photo, you know, on the page. Again, this is a little bit backwards, but for instance, this one, I wanted to go ahead and make sure I had some journaling room. So for the photo mat on this, I'm actually just going to use some lined paper because, again, I am trying to make this a pretty darn quick journal. So that will be the photo mat here, and then I can have some space to write on the back, and I'll just make sure not to adhere this photo all the way down. Another thing that I'm kind of pre-planning is, there is another one. This is when we checked into our hotel, and I have a little story about that. So I definitely want there to be a good amount of journaling space again. And I thought that this accounting type ledger paper would be really great, because it's going to talk about like checking into our hotel and whatnot. See, we're kind of almost in a way starting to decorate the pages ahead of time so that when I get to that point, it's going to be really quick. I'll just grab a little scrap here of some map paper and just stick that under like so. This one, we are on the airplane. I definitely want to have a lot to say about this photo, so I think I'm gonna actually just make this into a pocket. Now I'm gonna grab my book pages here so I can see. This is a pretty big photo. It's actually a little bit bigger. I can't really cut any down, so that's fine. I'm just gonna have it hang off the page, but I'm gonna make it into a pocket, so it's not really going to matter what the background is, but I'm going to use this book page here just to kind of utilize the book page. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here, and I'll show you how I'm going to make a pocket. Let's see here. Just going to go ahead and glue that down like so. Cut the top. All right, and then I'm just gonna fold down the bottom here, and I'm going to fold the two sides, and then this will just go directly onto the first page there. So I'm going to fold each side now as well, pretty close to the photo since this is a longer photo. There we go. And I'm going to cut the corners off like so. But now I can basically attach this to my page. I hope you can kind of visualize that like so. And then since it's a pocket, I'm gonna have a chance to put like a journaling card or something in the pocket. I have these photos left and I'm just gonna go through and use some of these papers that I have. I have coffee dyed papers, and these are great because I can again do journaling on the back if I want. So I'm just gonna go through and continue just gluing these down, cutting them out around. Okay guys, so I wanted to make these two pictures that are kind of similar. They go together, but I want to keep both of them. I'm gonna turn these into a little flip out and I'm gonna show you how I plan to do that. I'm actually just going to use some scrap paper here and I'm going to not measure this one bit. I'm literally just gonna take 2 pieces of scrap paper that I can fold in half. This is gonna be our little hinge. And I'm going to attach this. So I'm gonna figure out which way I want these, but I want one to open that way and one to open this way. So I'm just gonna take that little hinge. It's just a little fold kind of card type thing. And I will just attach it to the very edge here of the photo mat. That way, when it gets time to add this to the page, we already have that set up for us. And so you can see how I'm kind of planning out these pages as I go through. Honestly, that's something that just comes natural to me since I've been doing memory keeping for so long now. I feel like I'm always thinking of ideas, even when I'm taking a picture of something. I'm like, oh, that would make a cute page here and there. And that's why I also hold on to a lot of things like tickets and whatnot, which you're gonna see I'm also going to be adding. So there is gonna be some decorating element to this junk journal. But there we go. So now we have the little hinges and these can get easily attached to a page where they can then flip and flip out. And I might do that to a couple just so we have some interest in this journal. I want all of these photos to be on one page. This is a lot of photos, so my idea is to make a waterfall. So I'm going to start out by just going ahead and adhering all of these down because I want them all to have kind of the same background. And then I will show you what to do after we mat these with this paper here, and we're gonna trim them pretty closely to the edges. So I will be right back after we have these cut out, and then I can show you how to assemble them. I'm going to make those hinges just because this is the most simple way that you can put together a little flip or a waterfall. And I'm not measuring these, just making them be a decent size in comparison to the size of the photo. Okay, I know that I want this photo to be on top. That's about all. Now I'm gonna actually go ahead and attach the hinges to all of the backs of the photos right now. And this is just going to kind of prepare, we're gonna get this action, oh my gosh, I can't talk. Okay, I have all the hinges on, and just a little side note, even though I am preparing some of these, that doesn't mean that I can't turn any of my other matted photos into a flip or, you know, any type of decorative way that I want to incorporate it into a photo. I can always add hinges to these later. I can always add more layers or different matting. So yeah, just keep that in mind that you will see I'm going to change my mind up. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and I'm just going to attach these, like I said, right now to the base, not to an actual page, but I already know what size my pages are here, and this little craft bag came in the kit. I think it had some of the cute little decorative envelopes from June's journals. Or Jewel's journals. Anyways, so I know that this craft bag actually fits perfectly onto my pages. So this will be our page because I'm going to want to do a lot of journaling for all of these photos, and that way I can just have a tag down in here. And in fact, right now while I have this one, I'm going to pull that out, stick it in because I might use that. Okay. We're going to start with the top photo and the bottom photo. So I'm just going to choose. That'll be our top. This will be the bottom. And I'm going to put glue on the other side of the hinge. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this down to the very top of my page, as high up as it can go, because we have a lot to fit on one space here. And then to get the even spacing, I'm going to move on to the bottom picture next. Again, just gluing the other part of that hinge just right there. And this is going to go, I'm going to flip this up just to move it out of the way and also kind of press that down, make sure it sticks. This is going to go all the way to the bottom. So you can see the bottom of the photo lines up with the bottom of the bag here, and I do want to make sure that these are kind of in alignment with one another. And I don't know if I mentioned earlier that these pictures are all the same size. Then the room that we have to work with is just this amount in between here. It's not a lot, but I did kind of already pre-calculate that these would all fit on. So I'm just gonna then go down the line and make sure that this is just a little ways down from the top photo, and then I can flip that one up. And then let's see, do we have one or two more? Two more. So again, I do want these to be kind of evenly spaced, so you can totally measure this out if you want, but I'm not gonna do that. We'll go like that, and then flip this one up. And then we have our next one. And I can also journal on the backs of these as well. I could have made pockets on the backs to add a tag for each one, but they all kind of have the same story, so I'm probably just going to use a tag. Now these aren't super evenly spaced out, as you can see, but that's okay. That is okay with me. So now they're on here, and we have our little waterfall like so, and it will be ready to go onto a page. And for the last matting idea, I have a coffee stained envelope here. I'm just going to use this as my mat. I'm going to cut off the top so that it is a pocket here. I have a photo that I cut down to be the perfect size. So I'm going to attach that. So then it is matted, and it also has a spot for a tag. So that's obviously going to save me some time, because then it's ready to go on a page, and I have a spot for a tag or some ephemera, because I do have a lot of ephemera from this trip as well, and I can figure that out when I get to that part. Okay guys, I have all of my photos matted and ready to go. The last of what I just did, I just kept it simple and just did a quick mat on the map paper. So that I can have a little bit of wiggle room and change it up and not feel like I did too much work or too much wasted time, you know, went into matting the photos. But I really liked using the map paper. I actually still have a ton left, so that's a great idea, something to try out if you're doing a travel journal as well. And yeah, that was pretty time consuming, to be honest. And so I know that it will have ended up saving me a lot of time in the end, because these are all ready to go. Just a couple tips. If you're going to do something like this where you mat your photos, I would say, one, just be sure that you are definitely wanting to use all of the photos that you are matting, so you're not wasting supplies or time. And then also make sure, I went ahead and before I started the video, I kind of planned out how many photos could fit on each page, and I went through my first signature, which I want to fit all of these photos into, to make sure that all of these photos can actually fit, so that I knew I had the right amount of photos as well. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this process. This is definitely something new for me. I've never gone about it this way before, so I will see how it works. I'm probably going to do the second half of the book a little bit differently and a little more spontaneously, since it's going to be more recent. It's not so much catching up. So hopefully I can do some junk journal with me videos on some of these pages as we move along. But we still have quite a bit more to finish the journal. In the next video, we will either finish decorating the pages. I think I'm going to put some lace on the edges is all. Or we will do the cover. So one or the other, whatever I'm feeling inspired to do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you later. Bye.